Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SPASRO. Subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Today we are going to see about secret of step-by-step instructions for all zodiac sun sign. Aries, March 21st to April 19th. Step-by-step instructions to recognize. Keep your eyes open for somebody brandishing bounteous measures of red, typically as a super close t-shirt and shorts. The ram is generally the one doing a reasonable impersonation of the $6 million man on the treadmill. On the other hand, Aries will be consuming the tangle in a high-impact exercise class. Instructions to seduce. Wait until Aries is finished with their exercise. This sign will not break its step, and afterward request tips on getting fit as a fiddle. Rams love to play the position of authority, both in the rec center and room. By giving this normal competitor a lot of profound respect, they'll reward you with a date. Aries workout tip: be certain to start to perspire without fail. Exercise inspiration: work out for outrage the executives. Ideal exercise: spin class or open air street cycling. Make certain to wear a protective cap. Instructions to recognize. Keep your eyes open for somebody donning bounteous measures of red, normally as a super close t-shirt and shorts. The ram is normally the one doing a reasonable impersonation of the $6 million man on the treadmill. On the other hand, Aries will be consuming the tangle in a high-impact exercise class. Step-by-step instructions to seduce. Wait until Aries is finished with their exercise. This sign will not break its step, and afterward request tips on getting fit as a fiddle. Rams love to play the position of authority, both in the rec center and room. By giving this characteristic competitor a lot of profound respect, they'll reward you with a date. Indeed, one thing's without a doubt. At the point when Aries is carrying on, everybody around them will know it. An especially uneven ram will repulse individuals for a significant distance around. Inconveniences: they're so attractive, some will be at the same time attracted to them. Try not to allow yourself to fall into this snare. You'll just get spoken harshly to. Stay away when the insane kicks in, and if it's consistently there, figure out how to bow out before it's past the point of no return. Attributes: incautious, individualistic. Purchase tickets in a high-rise, in or almost a tool shop. Best games: instant games, reward ball type games, like Powerball. Best moment games: red shaded, with words beat, strike, hot, or fever. Best methods: use individual numbers, play a cop's or a fighter's birthday, following, play hot numbers. Aries is connected to the head, so the most widely recognized sickness is you experience the ill effects of migraines, headaches, neuralgia, nerve torment, a sleeping disorder, and swooning fits. How would you face up to ailment? You're a contender and you look it. You have excellent imperative energy and a solid outlook, and you need both to fulfill your wants for triumph and restoration. Genuinely, you don't ease up, and you wear yourself into the ground. The lone thing that stops you is weariness. Yet, this can hit you truly hard. Else, you scarcely notice minor hurts, agonies, and afflictions. However, your consistent drive for activity can make you disregard minor indications which could form into ongoing ailment. You get past ailment regardless of the amount you endure, due to your pride and battling soul. Also, when you're sick, you like to conceal it instead of seem frail. Overcoming sickness is only one more fight won for you. That's it, not much. What is well on the way to make you sick? Repetitiveness throughout everyday life, unlimited plans, an absence of difficulties and existential issues you can't survive. To seduce an Aries man. The kind of lady who can draw in an Aries man is one that exhibits a feeling of autonomy and is strong, daring, or unconstrained. They'll regard the opportunity of a lady like this. They respect strength and fortitude. Aries men appreciate a test and may think that it's charming to be lured by a confident lady while offering adequate protection from make it fascinating. To seduce an Aries woman. The kind of man who pulls in an Aries lady is reckless and intense, trying and direct, and has a feeling of experience. They are attracted to macho kinds or men in uniform. They look for rivalry and difficulties, so they favor legitimate men who are difficult to get. Aries ladies are pulled into champs, in sports or business or any type of rivalry. Aries Rams are logical and insightful naturally, so it bodes well that their decision planet, Mars, is engaged with the head. They tend to overthink things to the place of cerebral pains, tooth issues, jaw pounding, and even facial flaws. Your hasty nature alone is sufficient to get you into some monetary difficulty, and even you're mindful that you need to extend the measure of past time between I need and I just got. You need what you need when you need it. That is the reason you need to avoid Sagittarius, whose daring and a hunger for incitement that is close to as ravenous as yours will urge you to just go wild. It's outlandish enough to prevent your inward tenacious slam from getting what it needs, yet when the cumbersome centaur eggs you on, you place your financial solidness in twofold peril. Have a visa-destroying challenge instead of go out on the town to shop together. Taurus, April 20th to May 20th. Step-by-step instructions to recognize the bull is eminent for its very much built body. Thusly, you can generally track down this sign lifting loads or climbing a stone divider. Taurus is absolutely elegant and likes to be all around covered at the rec center. You'll infrequently track down this sign wearing smaller than usual shorts and an uncovered waist. A definitive sensualist, this sign normally conveys their own soft towel. Step-by-step instructions to seduce, offer to spot them while they're siphoning iron. Bulls will in general burn some major calories while working out, so a challenge to lunch or supper is consistently welcome. This sign loves to giggle, so you can likewise attempt a self-deploring joke like, generally, the lone exercise I at any point get is pursuing the good humor truck, or I'm into hard work, as well. Consistently, I convey my lunch to work. Taurus workout tip, get an exercise mate that keeps you responsible and makes you appear. Exercise inspiration, exercise can help oversee weight. Ideal exercise, power strolling. The most effective method to recognize the bull is eminent for its very much ripped body. Consequently, you can typically track down this sign lifting loads or climbing a stone divider. Taurus is completely elegant and likes to be very much covered at the exercise center. You'll seldom track down this sign brandishing smaller than expected shorts and an uncovered waist. A definitive sensualist, this sign normally conveys their own cushion towel. The most effective method to seduce, offer to spot them while they're siphoning iron. Bulls will in general become really hungry while working out, so an encouragement to lunch or supper is consistently welcome. This sign loves to giggle, so you can likewise attempt a self-censuring joke like, typically, the solitary exercise I at any point get is pursuing the good humor truck, or I'm into hard work, as well. Consistently, I convey my lunch to work. The expert of judgment, a bull whose bad will evaluate you consistently. You can take a stab at disclosing to them how it affects you, yet chances are, they will not move. Track down a useful path for them to encounter how you feel, be that as it may, and things may change. Take a stab at offering this touchy hint of painful but much needed insight. All things considered, what do you need to lose? Dislike they could deteriorate. Characteristics, patient, obstinate. Purchase tickets in an adobe or block working in a flower specialist shop. Best games, ones with huge big stakes, like Lotto or Powerball. Best instant games, copper-hued, with words treasure, bank, or vault. Best methods, play same arrangement of numbers over and over, standard frameworks like wheeling. Taurus is connected to the neck and the cervical vertebrae, and the most widely recognized issues related with your sign happen in these zones: angina, laryngitis, mouth ulcers, mumps, otitis, a firm neck, aggravation of the ear. But it requires a great deal of exertion to make you keep out of sight. How would you face up to disease? You're exceptionally clear and firm, similar to any Taurus, celebrated for your difficult fearless character. In any case, the prevailing planets for your introduction to the world sign additionally carry various viewpoints to your disposition. So really Taurus can go from being quiet and calm to blazing and persuasive instantly. One thing is without a doubt, you're infatuated with life, and you generally will be. It's implied that you can't bear being sick. You prefer not to lose something to be thankful for, like your well-being. You're cautious about taking any medicine you're endorsed, and you own it till the end. In any case, your primary care physician thinks that it's hard to really convince you if something's truly off base. In the event that you have the smallest uncertainty, or you lose any trust in your PCP, you like to hear another point of view to track down the best and the most easy method of improving. Your standing goes before you, and everybody understands what a diligent employee you are. Your arrangements now and again set aside effort to bloom, yet once they're fully operational you won't ever think back. You frequently get sick when your body needs rest, or when you're encountering monetary or relationship issues. What is well on the way to make you sick? The dread of missing out on material solaces, of losing your great well-being, to need to adhere to an exacting eating regimen that will boycott every one of the joys you appreciate throughout everyday life. Enchantment of Taurus man. Taurus man lean towards a lady who is adorable, cuddly, quiet, and agreeable, and shows warmth with strokes and kisses. They incline toward ladies who are accommodating, gritty and exotic, and not very autonomous or vivacious. To seduce a Taurus woman. The kind of man who pulls in a Taurus lady is the exemplary solid and quiet sort. Men who are rational appeal to her, and it very well might be imperative to her that he enjoys creatures or nature by and large. A man who can cook, snuggle, and care for her actual solaces is of incredible interest to her. Taurus. Venus oversees over Taurus and controls the lower jaw, the throat, and insulin creation. That leaves bulls inclined to throat diseases, thyroid conditions, firm necks, tonsillitis, and ear contaminations when they are particularly stressed or acting obstinate. You have a great deal of good judgment with regards to cash, and more often than not you have no issues utilizing it. You're additionally defensive enough to evade unimportant spending, more often than not. While your longing to have the best things in life is incredible, your capacity to ensure and accumulate your assets is more grounded. In the event that you at any point run into inconvenience, it would most likely be from contending with somebody who truly excites your pride and your longing to demonstrate you have more toys. Scorpio individuals will in general draw out your inclinations toward need to feel superior, so in case you're around one a great deal, recall that it's how much purchasing power you have left when your little games over that truly tallies. Gemini, May 21st to June 21st. Step-by-step instructions to recognize. Restless Gemini can never remain in one spot for long. They're the ones who complete 5 minutes on the circular, trailed by 8 minutes on the fixed bicycle, and afterward 10 minutes on the paddling machine. This sign is additionally extremely garrulous, and may spend their whole exercise calling different companions on their phone. Step-by-step instructions to seduce. People who are brought into the world under the indication of the twins are normally huge perusers. In case you're hoping to begin a discussion, express interest in the magazine article they are perusing. Gemini likewise loves to offer sentiments on all things everywhere. In the event that you detect this sign tuning into music, tap them on the shoulder and say, "Would I be able to ask what music you're tuning into?" You appear to get incredible outcomes. Gemini workout tip: sweat with individuals. Practice and mingle all the while. Workout inspiration. Exercise isn't work, it's play. Ideal exercise: dance class. Instructions to recognize. Restless Gemini can never remain in one spot for long. They're the ones who complete 5 minutes on the curved, trailed by 8 minutes on the fixed bicycle, and afterward 10 minutes on the paddling machine. This sign is likewise garrulous, and may spend their whole exercise calling different companions on their phone. Instructions to seduce. People who are brought into the world under the indication of the twins are typically enormous perusers. In case you're hoping to begin a discussion, express interest in the magazine article they are perusing. Gemini likewise loves to offer conclusions on all things everywhere. On the off chance that you detect this sign tuning into music, tap them on the shoulder and say, "Would I be able to ask what music you're tuning into?" You appear to get extraordinary outcomes. The trouble in managing most Geminis quit worrying about harmful ones is that they are deceptive. You never know precisely who you will get. Similarly, as you might suspect, you can't take anything else of their cruel evaluates and exclusive requirements, norms that don't matter to them or their conduct. Obviously, a glib charmer appears in their place. Try not to be enticed by the twins. To enjoy the twins' acceptable day tattle, it'll simply return to haunt you on the following terrible one. Trays. Versatile, fretful. Purchase tickets at a local store, in a transport or train station. Best games: Little Lottos, Fantasy 5, Cash 5. Best moment games: Yellow shaded, with words fast, quick, or double. Best methods: buy 2 tickets, purchase quick picks, play a kin's birthday or your vehicle tag numbers. Gemini's connected to the chest, shoulder bones, collarbone and the sensory system. The most widely recognized sicknesses for your sign happen in the chest area and nerves: asthma, persevering hack, bronchitis, anxious disease and cracks of the upper appendages. How would you face up to ailment? Individuals around you say you're continually transforming, you're generally progressing, searching for new encounters and a touch of variety. At times you can be unsteady, shallow, and artful, yet you're in every case energetic and brilliant on the grounds that you have an incautious brain. Your temper is exceptionally all over, extremely bashful one moment, exceptionally red hot the following. Geminis are troublesome patients. They need to improve quickly. They disregard their indications. They neglect to take their drug or they stop part of the way through the course. You can be somewhat eccentric. You behave recklessly, but at the same time you're playing with your well-being. There's consistently an inclination to imagine that nothing's incorrectly, that the specialist doesn't know best. You nearly giggle in his face now and again. You can be in agony. You change specialists over and over again, which implies you will not get the best consideration or fix, and when you do go you skirt around your sickness making decent discussion. You realize that correspondence is significant for you, and you need to discuss what's going on. Medical conditions emerge when you're experiencing an absence of contact with individuals, when you've moved to another spot and you don't know anybody, or after a separation, when you need to live with isolation. What is well on the way to make you sick? Being distant from everyone else, being limited, or being in a climate where you can't fulfill your scholarly interest, where you can't learn, develop yourself, and talk about inventive ideas with others. To seduce a Gemini man. Gemini men are pulled into ladies who are smart and variable and can keep them speculating. They can be attracted to average looking ladies who are clever and fascinating, and unquestionably more than to the excellent yet dull sort. To seduce Gemini woman. The correct man for the Gemini lady is sharp and variable, and an incredible conversationalist. Correspondence is vital to her, so the one who can share data and thoughts makes certain to be all around respected. Gemini. The twins are administered by Mercury, which manages double body parts, arms, legs, etc., and the respiratory framework. That leaves those of us under this sign with ongoing hacks and colds, bronchitis, sore shoulders, and tendinitis most likely because of continually mingling and being in a hurry. Cash goes back and forth rapidly with you, and you need to battle with yourself to remain zeroed in on each movement in turn. You experience difficulty opposing patterns and crazes that go back and forth as fast as you dance, starting with one companion then on to the next at a mixed drink party. You can likewise move diverted with your thoughts, and could purchase up more electronic contraptions than a great many people can at any point sort out some way to utilize. Aquarius would be an extremely terrible impact on you regarding monetary well-being. You could envision pies in the sky that are more costly than a NASA mission, and justify why you don't need to stress over what may be left to cover your essential costs. Cancer, June 22nd to July 22nd. Instructions to recognize: the crab is very hesitant, especially at the exercise center. This sign can generally be found at the back line of your activity class. Disease is likewise a water lover, and regularly appreciates doing laps in the pool. Keep your eyes open for a timid, resigning type who emits into ridiculous giggling at whatever point a machine breakdowns or a setback happens. Step-by-step instructions to seduce. Cancer is a definitive nurturer. Requesting that this sign encourage you will stimulate their quick interest. Attempt an initial line like, "Pardon me, I'm new to this rec center. Would you be able to suggest any great exercise classes?" Or, "I'm such a clumsy person, would you be able to advise me in case I'm utilizing this machine accurately?" The crab will promptly show compassion for you and trust you. Cancer. Exercise tip: go to a studio or little rec center. Evades warmed and uproarious exercise conditions. Exercise inspiration. Exercise to de-stress. Ideal exercise: mat pilates. The most effective method to recognize the crab is incredibly reluctant, especially at the exercise center. This sign can normally be found at the back column of your activity class. Cancer growth is additionally a water aficionado and regularly appreciates doing laps in the pool. Keep your eyes open for a modest, resigning type who ejects into ridiculous chuckling at whatever point a machine glitches or a disaster happens. Step-by-step instructions to seduce. Cancer is a definitive nurturer. Requesting that this sign encourage you will stir their prompt interest. Attempt an initial line like, "Pardon me, I'm new to this rec center. Would you be able to suggest any great exercise classes?" Or, "I'm such a clod, would you be able to advise me in case I'm utilizing this machine effectively?" The crab will quickly show compassion for you and trust you. Poverty is the harmful quality most connected with the crab, and nobody, aside from perhaps Pisces, can show this degree of franticness. Obviously Cancer reacts well to being pampered and reveled. The stunt is, they tend to just drop further thus. So what's the equilibrium? Tell Cancer you're there for them, yet urge them to assume some close to homely ability. There's a distinction between being a companion and being a prop. trays, security disapproved, cranky. Purchase tickets at a supermarket, close to a waterway, lake, or seashore. Best games, dailies, $2 moment games. Best moment games, silver shaded, with words money, cash, monopoly, or millionaire. Best methods, make utilization of numerology, rabbit's feet, and hunches. Your sign is connected to the upper midsection, the chest, the stomach related framework and the left eye. The most well-known issues related with your sign are fart, stomach inconvenience, stomach ulcers and acid reflux, and eye issues. You're likewise inclined towards food contamination. How would you face up to Cancer? You're firmly connected to your past, yet you let your desire for experience transport you towards new encounters. You can be passionate, touchy, and offbeat at the same time, or in different blends. With regards to your well-being, in any case, you have a fixed demeanor. You need to care for yourself and encircle yourself with individuals who care when you're sick. This is the solitary way you can get your actual strength back. Marvels don't occur without your friends and family and companions' assistance. Concerning your PCP, the person is presumably your family specialist or a companion of a dear companion. Somebody who knows you, who you like, or if nothing else continue ahead with. You wouldn't confide in any other person to give you the right determination. The person is likely your folks' PCP and knows your family ancestry well. Individuals think that it's hard to break through to you on the off chance that they don't have any acquaintance with you, so this is truly significant. You tend to go ballistic on occasion. The smallest itch in your throat or temperature can cause you to accept you're hanging on by a thread. Yet, regardless of whether you are somewhat of a despondent person, you do precisely what the specialist advises you. So for much else genuine than a brush on the knee, you ensure you take as much time as is needed and spoil yourself back to well-being, which, toward the day's end, is no terrible thing. What is well on the way to make you sick? You can capitulate to sickness effectively in the event that you're caused to feel shaky, enormous changes, partition, family matters, being in a new spot or climate. To seduce a Cancer man. The kind of lady who draws in a Cancer man is one who will solace and really focus on them. A lady who takes care of a Cancer man and causes him to feel adored may before long see them sharing her home, since home is the place where they most need to feel needed and loved and support. To seduce a Cancer woman. The correct man for the Cancer lady is defensive, security cognizant, touchy, and understanding. On the off chance that she finds that he causes her to have a sense of security and secure, she'll feel herself attracted to him. Crabs are attached to the stomach and stomach related framework, which is the reason they're exceptionally instinctive and sincerely charged. At the point when they cover their sentiments and don't relinquish outrage or agony, the moon's impact can prompt heartburn, intestinal ailments, and indigestion illness. Your requirement for security ought to be sufficient notice that you need to be practical about your procuring and ways of managing money. Your dread of the blustery day that every other person puts something aside for is more grounded than pretty much any other individual you know, particularly if that individual turns out to be a Pisces. There is no doubt that this not exactly functional sort would struggle understanding why you wouldn't part with all that you own to any sort of cause if it's commendable. Despite the fact that Pisces will urge you to think about empathy as a lifestyle, there's no motivation to relinquish your significant serenity for any measure of regard or prominence. Leo, July 23rd to August 22nd. Instructions to recognize. Look for the individual consuming elastic on the treadmill, yet who actually figures out how to radiate a hot sparkle. The lion's unmistakable mane is likewise an obvious hint, regardless of whether it is connected to pigtail or limited to a headband. Leos favor oxygen-consuming activity. You will not discover many hanging about the weight room. This sign isn't somewhat reluctant and frequently chimes in with their iPod. The most effective method to seduce. Leo loves to be respected. Praise this sign on their awkward ball swing, swim stroke or running shorts. Notice that you've been anxious to meet them, yet you were reluctant to move toward the most alluring individual from the rec center. Treat this affection object like sovereignty, opening entryways for them, and strolling 2 stages behind. The lion will before long soften underneath your concern. Leo. Exercise tip. Buy multi-participations to a few rec centers. Out of the multitude of signs, Leo will utilize them. Exercise inspiration. You need to glance extraordinary in garments and display your body. Working out makes that conceivable. Ideal workout. Power yoga. Instructions to recognize. Look for the individual consuming elastic on the treadmill, yet who actually figures out how to ooze a hot shine. The lion's unmistakable mane is likewise an obvious hint, regardless of whether it is connected to pigtail or controlled to a headband. Leos favor vigorous exercise. You will not discover many hanging about the weight room. This sign isn't somewhat hesitant and frequently chimes in with their iPod. The most effective method to seduce. Leo loves to be appreciated. Praise this sign on their awkward ball swing, swim stroke or running shorts. Notice that you've been anxious to meet them, however you were hesitant to move toward the most appealing individual from the exercise center. Treat this adoration object like sovereignty, opening entryways for them, and strolling 2 stages behind. The lion will before long liquefy underneath your concern. Personality, conscience, sense of self. Male Leos specifically have an self to save. Given somebody who isn't genuinely experienced or mindful, this outcomes as it were of self-privilege not to be matched by any sign, even Aries. When managing Leo's requests, adopt a delicate strategy. Praises and pampering can now and again relieve the savage monster. Save any genuine investigate for a stabler time, or keep down inside and out. A few things simply aren't awesome. Trays. Bold, liberal, carefree. Purchase tickets, where kids gather, where your dulling shops, in or almost an outdoor supply store. Best games, lotto, reward ball type games, like Powerball. Best moment games, gold shaded, with words cat, joker, or gold. Best methods, track and play hot numbers, play a kid's birthday. Leo is connected to the spine, the dorsal vertebrae, the cardiovascular situation and the correct eye. The diseases normally connected with your sign are palpitations, heart, visual perception and back inconvenience. How would you face up to sickness? Palpitations. You need to take care of them. This isn't simple for you, since you have a normally solid hard-working attitude, a great deal of actual energy, and you're incredibly requesting of yourself. At the point when you need to go to the specialist, you're a horrible patient. Planning to see the specialist approaches conceding to shortcoming or actual mediocrity. You generally recuperate from the burden of sickness rapidly, to show everybody nothing can cut you down. The best exhortation any specialist could give you is require a couple of moments daily to take your feet off the ground each in turn, pivoting them in little developments, and breathing profoundly. Else, you'll be encouraged to take brief breaks all the more regularly on the grounds that things are becoming a lot for you. Travel to another country and re-energize your batteries. You'll hear this so frequently, yet you need to tune in. You think that it's difficult to unwind, yet loosen up you should. What is well on the way to make you sick? At the point when you're standing or your picture endures takes a blow, it can trigger disease. Losing duty, losing your employment, an expert or family disappointment, lessening notoriety, untimely maturing. Every one of these things can thump your certainty and your accomplishments. This is frequently valid for men. To seduce a Leo man. The sort of lady who draws in the Leo man is one that they can feel pleased to be seen with, one who makes them look great just by having her on his arm. A lady who is flawless or emotional or magnificent or detached turns them on. To seduce a Leo woman. The correct man for the work of subduing the Leo lioness is one who transmits warmth and shows his friendship in an actual manner. They are considerably more intrigued on the off chance that he turns out to be rich, or acclaimed, or amazing, or exquisite, or the entirety of the above mentioned, so she can impart the spotlight to her new adore. The sun looks after Leos and influences their hearts, flow, and spine. They are normally definitive and sure, so if anything's making them feel else, it can welcome back issues, heart afflictions, and torpidity. Your pride and certainty can frequently lead you to consider cash to be a wellspring of force and strength, so it's significant that you generally have enough to spend and enough to save, so your resources are secured and all around contributed. At the point when you like and find things with status and force, you need to look for the compulsion to purchase more rich things than you can genuinely bear. While you may profit by the guidance of somebody who has wonderful taste, like Libra, you'll need to recall that this stylish individual's exclusive expectations of excellence won't generally think about your financial plan. Utilize your initiative abilities to take a stand and ensure Libra understands what should be done to tow it. Virgo, August 23rd to September 22nd. Instructions to recognize: the Virgin consistently looks perfect and all around cleaned, in any event, when they are burning some calories. This sign courtesies exercise garments made of normal filaments. You will not at any point find them wearing polyester or spandex. You can for the most part discover Virgo in a yoga, jiu-jitsu or pilates class. These people appreciate practice containing exact developments. These people are additionally characteristic educators and may even be your exercise center's #1 teacher. Step-by-step instructions to seduce: there's nothing Virgo despises in excess of a vile pickup line. Approach this sign respectfully and deferentially. Request that they suggest a decent exercise class. Ask on the off chance that they are aware of any great juice bars nearby. In the event that the Virgin is wearing a t-shirt publicizing their #1 philanthropic reason, pepper the person in question with inquiries concerning it. Virgo is among the most socially cognizant individuals from the Zodiac. Virgo workout tip: exercise is an incredibly clean climate or not in the slightest degree. Exercise inspiration: detox. Ideal exercise: Bikram yoga. The most effective method to recognize: the Virgin consistently looks flawless and all around scoured, in any event, when they are burning some calories. This sign kindness is exercise garments made of regular filaments. You will not at any point discover them wearing polyester or spandex. You can generally discover Virgo in a yoga, kendo or pilates class. These people appreciate practice containing exact developments. These people are likewise regular educators and may even be your ex-center's #1 teacher. The most effective method to seduce: there's nothing Virgo despises in excess of a vulgar pickup line. Approach this sign respectfully and consciously. Request that they suggest a decent exercise class. Ask on the off chance that they are aware of any great juice bars nearby. In the event that the Virgin is wearing a t-shirt promoting their #1 philanthropic reason, pepper the person in question with inquiries regarding it. Virgo is among the most socially cognizant individuals from the zodiac. A poisonous Virgo knows it all. Truly. What's more, they'll demand elucidating your issues ad nauseam until you sense that you're going to detonate. It's their way or the roadway. Furthermore, you'd be in an ideal situation taking off than attempting to conquer this sizable hindrance. In the event that you essentially should stay, you'll need to build up a toughness and capacity to move subjects easily and routineness. Trays. Practical, attentive. Purchase tickets at a newspaper kiosk in a block building. Best games, Little Lotto, dailies. Best moment games, yellow shaded, with words bingo, tree, or combination. Best methods, tracking, pulling, play an associate's or a specialist's birthday. Virgo is connected to the midsection and stomach related framework. The issues normally connected with your sign are colitis, blockage, stomach related issues, liver difficulty, nerve, and kidney stones. How would you face up to sickness? Individuals regularly consider you to be an unpredictable character. You're normally saved, insightful, in any event, figuring on occasion. However, you shock individuals around you by showing a totally extraordinary side of your character now and again. This doesn't occur frequently, however those near you think that it's a piece agitating. There's unquestionably a non-traditionalist, instinctual definitive side to your character, regardless of whether it doesn't raise its head frequently. Conflicted to the last, you give Jekyll and Hyde a run for their cash. Nonetheless, Virgos are never in two personalities about their well-being. You demand standard registration, and at the smallest side effect you get yourself examined. You're into anticipation, no doubt, and you watch what you eat to ensure you stay solid. You're a model patient, since you follow the physician's instructions and medicines in detail, yet you're not hesitant to pose inquiries. You attempt and work out the purposes behind your disease, for instance if drug you're on is affecting your well-being. You additionally ensure you do every one of the straightforward seemingly insignificant details that will assist you with standing up once more, eating a nutritious eating routine, individual cleanliness, and so on. What is destined to make you sick? In case you're caused to feel pointless or insufficient, it will create you unsettled, and this can make you more powerless against disease. Your own conditions and mental variables can likewise affect your well-being and prosperity. A lot of duty at work, a lot pressure, losing your employment, city life. To seduce a Virgo man. The sort of lady who draws in the Virgo man looking for organization consistently shows up very much prepped and moderately dressed, and, most importantly, has a quality of respectability. They are extremely specific, and want out flawlessness in their expected mates, which can abandon them usually. To seduce a Virgo woman. The kind of man who draws in the Virgo lady is wise, immaculately mannered and prepped, common sense, and dependable. Tidiness and neatness are the absolute most significant factors here for the endorsement of a Virgo woman. Virgos are controlled by Mercury too, yet the well-being center for this sign is around the stomach-related parcel and digestive organs. Virgos will in general hurry through things and have an over-the-top narrow viewpoint. Without enough unwinding time to adjust their working drone propensities, ulcers, clogging, and food sensitivities could result. Your force of segregation can lead you to make superb determinations when you go to purchase something. However, you can likewise move diverted when you shop. You can get so made up for lost time and the fun of settling on decisions, you end up purchasing far more than you really need. The exact opposite thing you would require is somebody who continues to bring up where you can go to get the following rush from selecting something and causing it to have a place with you. That is the reason you be savvy to try not to go out to the shopping center with an Aries. In the event that you do have one of these reckless people in your day-to-day existence, fight the temptation to follow the smash's impulsive conduct toward your own monetary ruin. Libra, September 22nd to October 22nd. Instructions to recognize. Libra is known for elegance, coordination, and style. Search for the competitor who runs like a gazelle or swims like a swan. Individuals brought into the world under the indication of the scales are likewise profoundly design cognizant. You'll never find them working out in a junky old t-shirt and cut-off pants. Fashion a practice near is their attire of decision, yet just for the exercise center. After their exercise, they constantly change into a savvy outfit. The most effective method to seduce. It's essential to consummate your temptation procedure prior to moving toward Libra. This sign loathes fumblers. The following time you spot Libra, get on the activity machine close to fizz with a duplicate of a decent mainstream society magazine. Examine the diversion area. At that point go to find out if they've gone to the included film, show or play. Refined Libra loves to talk about expressions of the human experience. Libra. Exercise tip. Make balance the objective and all that will become all good. Exercise inspiration. Exercise makes you more wonderful. Ideal exercise. Ballet. The most effective method to recognize. Libra is known for elegance, coordination, and style. Search for the competitor who runs like a gazelle or swims like a swan. Individuals brought into the world under the indication of the scales are likewise profoundly style cognizant. You'll never discover them working out in a shoddy old t-shirt and cut-off pants. Originate a practice near is their apparel of decision, however just for the rec center. After their exercise, they constantly change into a shrewd outfit. The most effective method to seduce. It's critical to consummate your enticement strategy prior to moving toward Libra. This sign detests fumblers. The following time you spot Libra, get on the activity machine close to fizz with a duplicate of a decent mainstream society magazine. Examine the diversion area. At that point go to find out if they've gone to the included film, show or play. Refined Libra loves to talk about human expressions. As the indication of equilibrium, one can envision a Libra who is crooked is inconvenience. Restrained feelings that come regurgitating as toxin. Quiet medicines that end in upheavals. Assumptions that can't be met. Undoubtedly, Libra is perhaps the most troublesome poisonous individuals to sort out. Yet, you can utilize their extraordinary flightiness for your potential benefit, and stay away while things are monstrous. Chances are they'll adjust their perspective when they're feeling much improved, and be significantly simpler to manage. Trays, logical, sentimental, hesitant. Purchase tickets, in a flower specialist shop, in or close to a wonder shop, where your life partner shops. Best games, pick 3, Lotto. Best moment games, copper or light blue shaded, with word sweetheart, diamonds, or 2. Best methods, wheeling, pulling, quick picks, play with an accomplice, to seduce a Libra man. The sort of lady who draws in the Libra man has heaps of class yet isn't excessively formal at some unacceptable occasions. She can be kind of modern, yet not appallingly stood up, kind of exacting however not very specific, or any of various repudiating classes, as long as she is totally genuine in her considerations, and has no secret plans for the relationship. To seduce a Libra woman. The sort of man who pulls in a Libra lady is enchanting, amiable, and fashionable. It additionally helps if he's gorgeous, sentimental, and somewhat antiquated also. They will in general react to mental and verbal teases more so than the rough actual sorts. Libra. Venus has ward over Libra and controls kidney and bladder capacities. Libras blossom with delight, both giving and getting. However, a lot of one over the other can cause excretory issues. In any event, with regards to purchasing the lovely items you elegantly select, when you spend on anything, you need to take additional time than the vast majority do in deciding. While this can now and then save you from purchaser's regret, it can imply that you pass up getting something, since you've stood by excessively long, as well. There are times when you basically need to put your cash down and take your risks. Taurus would make much more trouble around there for you, since this tedious sign likes to clutch cash until it's totally important to spend it. This security disapproved of sign would likewise squeeze you to abstain from spending out and out, except if you're purchasing your Taurus companion a pleasant blessing, that is. Scorpio, October 23rd to November 21st. Step-by-step instructions to recognize the last spot Scorpio likes to be is the exercise center. This isolated character would much rather be perusing a spine chiller or watching a blood and gore film. In any case, these people do comprehend the advantages of activity and are regularly discovered taking part in high-octane classes like kickboxing, karate or turning. Keep your eye open for the individual brandishing all dark who looks like they are working off a jail sentence. The most effective method to seduce Scorpions love to empathize. A decent friendly exchange may be amazing. This class is tiresome. Or, you'll need to pardon me on the off chance that I begin heaving for breath. I'm known to pass out while changing my socks. Scorpio will be glad to meet somebody who detests working out however much they do. Whatever occurs, never advise this sign to grin while the individual in question is working out. Their stony gaze will provoke you to change exercise centers. Libra is connected to the lumbar vertebrae, the urinary and hormonal frameworks. The diseases you're well on the way to endure are exceptionally different: lumbago, colic, renal inconveniences, cystitis. How would you face up to sickness? You're an unconstrained individual and a characteristic social butterfly. Correspondence is fundamental for you. You can't survive without contact with others, and you share your most profound emotions with individuals, if they are dear companions. Individuals love your exuberant character and your feeling of strategy, however you can at times allow your interests to run excessively high. You long for a totally reasonable, clash-free world, you disdain foul play and brutality. This is the reason you will in general stifle your animosity when you now and then want to allow your actual sentiments to show to whoever, and this inward clash makes you depressed. This makes you inclined to psychosomatic sicknesses or those that grow mentally and afterward genuinely. These diseases make you evade strife, since you try not to set your solidarity in opposition to other people. You possibly tune into your PCP on the off chance that he/she is warm and open. Your first target is to get your mental equilibrium back, in light of the fact that this will launch your fix. Beside drug, a decent type of treatment for you is workmanship. Have a go at taking it up during troublesome occasions, if not consistently, work allowing. What is well on the way to make you sick? Setting your solidarity against other people's far and away clash, or more all, absence of adoration, you live to cherish and be cherished. A separation, being away from your cherished one, a major clash, or an incredible passionate stun, can trigger ailment. Scorpio. Exercise tip: work out alone. Exercise inspiration: exercise causes one to feel invigorated. Ideal exercise. Interval preparing step-by-step instructions to recognize. The last spot Scorpio likes to be is a rec center. This isolated character would much rather be perusing a spine chiller or watching a blood and gore film. All things considered, these people do comprehend the advantages of activity and are frequently discovered participating in high-octane classes like kickboxing, karate or turning. Keep your eye open for the individual brandishing all dark who looks like they are working off a jail sentence. Instructions to seduce. Scorpions love to empathize. A decent friendly exchange may be, "Goodness, this class is difficult." Or, "You'll need to pardon me in the event that I begin panting for breath. I'm known to pass out while changing my socks." Scorpio will be glad to meet somebody who abhors working out however much they do. Whatever occurs, never advise this sign to grin while the individual in question is working out. Their stony gaze will provoke you to change rec centers. Not many individuals are as hazardous as an cranky Scorpio. They are not known as a stinger for reasons unknown. In case you're fighting with a broody, cranky being who realizes how to press your catches and does it such that slices deep down, have a go at being forthright about your emotions. Quite possibly as even a lopsided Scorpio will regard your unequivocal quality. Whatever you do, notwithstanding, don't mislead a Scorpio. They'll know intuitively and turn out to be surprisingly more dreadful. Trays. Intense. Passionate. Purchase tickets. In cellar of a structure. In a faintly lit spot. Best games. Lotto. Moment games. Best moment games. Red or dark shaded. With words life, bonus, or second chance. Best methods. The paranormal. Play your protection strategy numbers. Scorpio is connected to the lower stomach related framework in the private parts, bladder, and conceptive organs like the ovaries. The issues most usually connected with your sign are urinary diseases, genital issues, sexual issues or digestive tract issues. How would you face up to illness? It's regularly said that Scorpios are the odd one out of the Zodiac family, and you surely have a solid, complex and frequently clandestine character. You're difficult to sort out, and you regularly even astonishment yourself. Independence and intuition are your main partners throughout everyday life. Endurance, in the interim, is natural to you. It's even said that Scorpios can be reconceived and rise like a phoenix from the remains. You're a flat-out bad dream for specialists, obviously. It is safe to say that you are truly hoping to improve when you go to the doctors. Your conclusion, if regularly, extremely dubious, in light of the fact that you don't clarify what's going on. Alright, your mysterious and insubordinate nature certainly doesn't do you, or your helpless specialist, any kindnesses. Ailment can now and again be a type of self-discipline for you. This is the reason you feel it's something that must be borne, that will filter you, and drop some weight from your shoulders, and change yourself. This sort of demeanor will just land you in emergency clinic. You're excessively outrageous. You need the sort of specialist who sees through your subliminal guard components and who can mention to you what the person truly thinks without culpable or separating your safeguards. This would assist you with disposing of your disturbing propensity for self-discipline. When you do, your iron will go far to assisting you with getting the way to recuperation. What is well on the way to make you sick? At the point when life doesn't present difficulties, fervor, battles and secrets to tackle, you're at your generally helpless. A representative, loss of a task, separation, or genuine passing can likewise be a factor. To seduce a Scorpio man. The sort of lady who draws in the sincerely unstable Scorpio man is essential, enthusiastic, and exceptional. They sever to go for dynamic and amazing sorts of ladies who aren't ambivalent, powerless ruled weaklings. To seduce a Scorpio woman. Scorpio ladies favor a man who seems extreme or incomprehensible and has a sort of attractive allure about him that indicates seething sexuality and neglected profundities of unbridled enthusiasm. Scorpio. In the event that normally extraordinary Scorpios get excessively desirous or over the top, or if pessimism propels their activities, Pluto can unleash destruction on their conceptive frameworks, just as on their kidneys and bladders. Potential issues incorporate difficult as well as sporadic monthly cycle, bladder diseases, and diabetes. Pursuing after quality is a solidly settled in propensity with you, so with regards to picking stock, you ordinarily confine your determinations to top rack stuff. Much of the time, it's likely evident that one thing of incomparable quality is a preferred venture over a few average ones. However, be cautious. You're the sort of individual who can end up driving an extravagance vehicle or possessing an upscale home that you truly can't stand to keep up. On the off chance that you need to keep one foot on the ground when you buy your first class things, try not to converse with a Leo about it. Similarly persuaded that the person merits the most awesome aspect everything, you will not get talked out of even your most pretentious possible monetary shortfalls. Sagittarius, November 22nd to December 21st. The most effective method to recognize naturally athletic Sag cherishes the exercise center and treats it as a social center. Keep your eyes stripped for the fellow or young lady searching for a round of pickup b-ball. The person will most likely be biting gum and brandishing a grin as large as all outside. Sagittarius couldn't care less form, however, has a partiality for sports shirts, particularly ones bearing the name of their #1 competitor. The most effective method to seduce, the archer doesn't care for high pressure strategies. This sign needs to make companions first and sweethearts second. Welcome the carefree archer to a gathering. Clue: Sag is a sucker for barbecues. Alternately, you can provoke Sagittarius to a round of squash, proposing fun stakes like a burger with everything on the side. In case you're searching for a friendly exchange, notice the previous evening's major event. These people love elite athletics and are anxious to examine their #1 groups. Sagittarius. Exercise tip: get outside. Exercise inspiration: exercise improve actual ability. Ideal exercise: sports. Step-by-step instructions to recognize naturally athletic Sag adores the exercise center and treats it as a social center. Keep your eyes stripped for the fellow or young lady searching for a round of pickup b-ball. The individual will likely bite gum and donning a grin as large as all outside. Sagittarius couldn't care less old, however, has a proclivity for sports pullovers, particularly ones bearing the name of their #1 competitor. Instructions to seduce: the archer doesn't care for high pressure strategies. This sign needs to make companions first and owlings second. Welcome the carefree archer to a gathering. Clue: Sag is a sucker for barbecues. Alternately, you can move Sagittarius to a round of squash, proposing fun steaks like a cheeseburger with everything on the side. In case you're searching for a friendly exchange, notice the previous evening's major event. These people love elite athletics and are anxious to examine their #1 groups. Not by and large known for harmful conduct, a messed up Sag is probably going to accomplish more roundabout harm with reckless conduct than they are to effectively harmed anybody. Unfortunately, everything you can manage is limit your openness, which ought to be fine for a sign who prizes freedom most importantly. Do your best not to get involved in the archer's shows and you'll see it simpler to battle with their misguided thinking. Trays: happy go fortunate, indiscreet. Purchase tickets at out-of-state lotteries, close to a school. Best games, multi-stat games, pick 3. Best moment games, purple shaded, with words lucky, happy, or triple. Best methods, quick picks, utilize individual numbers, play an in-law's birthday. Sagittarius is connected to the pelvis, thighs, hips, and by relationship to the sacrum, coccyx and sciatic nerve. The most widely recognized issues related with your sign are localized cellulite on the posterior and thighs, sciatic issues, disjoint hips, breaks of the femur and neck. How would you face up to disease? Sagittarius are known for their bright demeanor. You appreciate life, you're enthusiastic, straight, steadfast, you're associated with everything, and you have places of duty in the board at work, and at home in the family. The impact of the planets can change this somewhat conventionalist image of you, and make you savagely free. You go to unimaginable lengths to fulfill your fantastic plans and interests, and annihilate the bogus divine beings around you. At the point when you're sick, your hopefulness goes far towards a fix. For the rest, you co-work well with your PCP, and accept your prescription as you should. No different either way, you're encouraged to pick your primary care physician with care, since you can be excessively trusting of others now and again. What is destined to make you sick? The sudden realization that your ideal is only a hallucination, a terrific thought that won't ever come around, or seeing your arrangements come up short. In close-to-home connections, being sold out by somebody who was a good example to you. In affection, being undermined. To seduce a Sagittarius man. Sagittarius men like the sort of lady who is straightforward, direct, and dependable, fundamentally a sweetheart who is likewise a companion. They like a lady who's energetic one moment, and philosophical the following, yet consistently cheerful. To seduce a Sagittarius woman. The one who draws in a Sagittarius lady is one who shows high good and moral principles, and satisfies their standards of trustworthiness and uprightness. They need genuineness, fellowship, and fun from a likely mate. Sagittarius. It's about the thighs, hips, liver, and sciatic nerve for Sagittarius, because of Jupiter's strength. Medical conditions range from spinal issues and stiffness to detoxification issues. The new, the extraordinary and the energizing will engage you, if you can bear the cost of it. You're the sort of individual who will book the safari to Africa, before you even look at the cost. You generally figure out how to persuade yourself that you can manage without another thing, to make up for the cost. At that point you gather your sacks and head off. Regardless of Cancer's requirement for security, this individual can really end up being a terrible impact on you. This delicate soul's longing for you to have every one of the things you need will keep your Cancer companion from preventing you from monetary self-harm. Capricorn, December 22nd to January 19th. Instructions to recognize. The rec center is somewhat casual for noble Capricorn. Search for the individual who looks into culpably every time the entryway is opened. The goat is unnerved by running into someone they know while they're working it out on the activity bicycle. This sign additionally favors blindingly white t-shirts that looked like they've been treated. If all else fails, check the feet. Capricorns typically jumps on first-in-class athletic shoes. Instructions to seduce. Take the good old methodology with Capricorn. Stand by until they've completed the process of working out, and open a discussion with, I trust you don't believe I'm by and large excessively forward, yet I was unable to help seeing your shoes. Would I be able to ask where you got them? This will set the goat in a place of power, where the person is generally agreeable. At the earliest opportunity, build up that you do have a stable employment. This sign detests bumps. Capricorn. Exercise tip: aim for long exercises. 2 hours in addition to exercise inspiration. Exercise encourages you stay solid. Ideal exercise: hiking. Instructions to recognize: the exercise center is somewhat casual for stately Capricorn. Search for the individual who looks into culpably every time the entryway is opened. The goat is frightened by running into someone they know while they're working it out on the activity bicycle. This sign likewise favors blindingly white t-shirts that looked like they've been treated. If all else fails, check the feet. Capricorns typically jumps on best-in-class athletic shoes. Instructions to seduce: take the good old methodology with Capricorn. Stand by until they've completed the process of working out and open a discussion with, "I trust you don't believe I'm as a rule excessively forward, yet I was unable to help seeing your shoes. Would I be able to ask where you got them?" This will set the goat in a place of power where the person is generally agreeable. As quickly as time permits, set up that you do have a stable employment. This sign despises loafers. The most noticeably terrible thing about a poisonous Capricorn is that they'll never see your perspective. In the goat's brain, all that they're doing is completely defended and right, which can make them truly hard to manage. For your absolute best at limiting your own dissatisfactions, make an effort not to contend and change the subject. You're not going to win this fight, and regardless of whether you do, you'll never transform them. You generally have the decision to respond to a circumstance or to deliberately react to it. At the point when you consequently respond, it's frequently in a condition of dread or upset. At the point when you intentionally react, you come from a more strong arrangement. Trays: serious, down to earth. Purchase tickets at a store close to your work in a wooden structure. Best games: pick 4, Little Lotto. Best moment games: green or earthy colored hued, with words green, cold, cool, or tree. Best methods: track and play cold, late, numbers, utilize a rabbit's foot, play your manager's introduction to the world date. Capricorn is connected to the skeleton and bones, the knees, joints, teeth, skin, nails, and scalp. The issues most usually connected with your sign are joint inflammation, stiffness, tooth rot, warped teeth and skin issues, dermatitis, skin inflammation, verrucas. How would you face up to ailment? You're normally eager, however you don't regularly show it. You move gradually up the positions of a progression and you accomplish your lifetime aspirations. However, you're generally in the shadows. You do it quietly yet cautiously, utilizing figuring and assurance. You're driven either by realism, morals, or by otherworldliness. You're seldom sick, and when you will be, you confront it quite well. You coarseness your teeth and continue ahead with your business without giving any indication of shortcoming. Indeed, when you get a determination from the specialist, it can regularly be disturbing in light of the fact that you've quite recently carried on as should be expected. You take your drug as per the physician's instructions, so you improve as fast as could be expected, in light of the fact that you scorn being reliant on anything. You consider it to be something that makes you powerless. All things being equal, your primary care physician needs to figure out how to see through your intense, sure outside and see the delicate soul stowing away under. The best thing for you is a sensible conclusion and counsel to support you, since you can undoubtedly get discouraged. The specialist should likewise allow you to dominate and advise that person precisely what's going on, in the event that the individual thinks you need to. In case you're somewhat more open and a touch more broad with your PCP, you'll have the option to make quick work of things and improve treatment. What is well on the way to make you sick? A disrupting circumstance at work, allowing your gatekeeper to down A disappointment at work, or division from your family, can make you powerless. To seduce a Capricorn man. The kind of lady who pulls in a Capricorn man is socially satisfactory and fairly formal or reserved, also very genuine about progress and status. To seduce a Capricorn woman. Capricorn ladies are after a man who appears to be not kidding, standoffish, and withdrew, and by one way or another activities an enigmatic individual emanation. They need a man who's aggressive and socially adequate, and they are attracted to cash, status, and force. Capricorn. Goats are controlled by Saturn, which manages the skeleton, teeth, and joints, explicitly the knees. They are yearning and decided, yet those qualities can likewise prompt willfulness, which at that point achieves delicate bones and weakened, unbending joints. Potential issues include arthritis, knee issues, and osteoporosis. You have the stuff with regards to getting it done, and you quite often have enough to deal with yourself and a few others who are precious to you. However long you keep individuals around you who regard your liberality in procuring uprightness, you wouldn't fret. Being a significant breadwinner, you do have to pay special mind to those individuals who don't really streamline or show appreciation for the numerous things you accommodate them. Gemini can be hard for you to coexist with monetarily. This current individual's disposition of spend today, stress later can truly contradict some common norms of your moderate sensibilities. Aquarius, January 20th to February 18th. Instructions to recognize. Trust Aquarius to evaluate the most recent gym equipment, or go to the freshest heart-stimulating exercise class. On the off chance that it's bizarre and new, the water conveyor needs to encounter it. This sign frequently sports eye-getting athletic equipment, similar to fluorescent tones or sparkly textures. If all else fails, look at the individual's iPod or mobile phone. This sign is a tech darling, and generally has the most recent contraption. Step-by-step instructions to seduce. Ask Aquarius their assessment on the morning's features. This sign loves to examine current undertakings. Express some eccentric assessments of your own. In the event that there's anything the water carrier can't stand, it's somebody who indiscriminately follows the group. As a last resort, simply go up and present yourself. Aquarius loves meeting new individuals and will appreciate your immediate methodology. Aquarius workout tip: stay away from Nautilus gear. Utilize freeloads, all things considered. They are less keeping. Exercise inspiration. Exercise can overcome any barrier among psyche and body. Aquarians some of the time have a major hole. Ideal workout: Bikram yoga. The most effective method to recognize. Trust Aquarius to evaluate the most recent gym equipment, or go to the freshest heart-stimulating exercise class. On the off chance that it's peculiar and new, the water carrier needs to encounter it. This sign regularly sports eye-getting athletic equipment, similar to fluorescent tones or glossy textures. If all else fails, look at the individual's iPod or PDA. This sign is a tech darling, and ordinarily has the most recent contraption. Instructions to seduce. Ask Aquarius their assessment on the morning's features. This sign loves to talk about current undertakings. Express some unusual assessments of your own. On the off chance that there's anything the water carrier can't stand, it's somebody who indiscriminately follows the group. When in doubt, simply go up and present yourself. Aquarius loves meeting new individuals and will appreciate your immediate methodology. Goodness, unusual Aquarius. The water bearer isn't above bowing reality to suit their rendition of the real world. However, this is one sign you can cut the harmony with and not anticipate a battle. In case you're managing an Aquarius awful conduct, don't be hesitant to take a position they most likely will not change, yet they'll consider you're to be as an assault and gladly run the alternate way. Trays, intellectual, flighty. Purchase tickets at an air terminal where your companions shop. Best games, Lotto, Powerball, or other award ball games. Best moment games, dark blue shaded, with words wild, 7, or surprise. Best methods, join a little pool, utilize a PC to follow and dissect odd/even numbers. Aquarius is connected to the legs, lower legs in the course. The most well-known issues related with your sign are hyperextended lower legs, cracked Achilles ligaments, breaks of the tibia, and course issues like varicose veins. How would you face up to sickness? Aquarius frequently has a special character, individual, in some cases defiant, and consistently unique. The basics of life are freedom, advancement, and abundance. With age, Aquarius can quiet down a piece, transcend things, live by your impulses, and move away from the wild desires of your childhood. Sickness causes a circumstance of genuine serenity, yet in addition one of separation, all things considered. At the point when you converse with the specialist, you sense that you're discussing somebody as an outsider looking in, i.e. discussing another person. You're liberal and you're slanted to feel that in case you're sick there must be a physical or mental explanation, and you generally need to know why. Your primary care physician loves you, since you're a truly co-usable patient. The solitary drawback is that he needs to ensure you're totally better on the grounds that you're slanted to endure responses or backslides. These sorts of amazements are normal for Aquarius and Uranus, the planet which controls your sign. Be that as it may, your PCP could attempt new inventive medicines out on you, and you might be astonished by the outcomes. What is destined to make you sick? Losing your freedom, surrendering to expert or family limitations on you, not having any designs for the future, or a major miracle in your adoration life. To seduce an Aquarius man. The sort of lady who draws in an Aquarius man is smart, autonomous, free, energetic, and a decent conversationalist. Should she keep him speculating, or be somewhat whimsical, she'll entrance him. However, on the off chance that she's excessively enthusiastic, he'll pass. To seduce an Aquarius woman. The sort of man who pulls in the Aquarius lady is mentally fascinating, sensible, receptive, and willing to analyze. A man with thoughts and experiences captivates them continually. Aquarius ladies are significantly more pulled in the event that he appears to be whimsical or eccentric or only uncommon somehow or another. Aquarius. Uranus is responsible for flow and nerve-driving forces among individuals from this sign. On the off chance that famously furious Aquarius don't set aside some effort to inhale and unwind, soothsayers accept their high speed could prompt joint inflammation, heart issues, swollen appendages, varicose veins, asthma, and expanded hypersensitive responses. In spite of the fact that you like to have the option to manage the cost of the better things throughout everyday life, you don't actually have a great deal of connection to the material world. In the event that the whole monetary framework were to collapse one day, you would in any case be fine, as long as you had a couple of companions around, and the chance of modifying society without any preparation, and in your own picture. You really don't value individuals who pester at you to take a gander at the subtleties, and consider the practical implications of each penny you spend. That could be the reason it's so hard for you to carry on financial associations with individuals brought into the world under the indication of Virgo. In the event that you two can acquire regard for the unique ways you see cash, you could profit each other extraordinarily, however it will take a great deal of bargain. Pisces, February 19th to March 20th. Instructions to recognize. Dreamy Pisces is somewhat oblivious. They sell out themselves at the rec center with following shoelaces, bungled socks and a retrogressive t-shirt. You most likely will not track down this sign doing reps on the Nautilus or logging floors on the stair race. These people by and large really like to swim in the pool or stretch in the yoga studio. Individuals brought into the world under the indication of the fish frequently murmur faintly while working out. Instructions to seduce. Claim a game's injury and request that Pisces suggest a decent spa or masseurs. This sign will be glad to oblige and presumably test you for more data on your well-being as well. Fish are continually searching for somebody to save, and that is frequently the initial move toward winning their heart. Uproariously announcing a cap. Pisces. Exercise tip. Try to exercise shoeless tennis shoes. Strap your feet and your feet will in general be delicate to that. Exercise inspiration. Exercise to soothe your soul. Ideal exercise. Hatha yoga and contemplation. The most effective method to recognize dreamy Pisces is somewhat inattentive. They deceive themselves at the exercise center with following shoelaces, befuddled socks and a aggressive t-shirt. You most likely will not track down this sign doing reps on the Nautilus or logging floors on the stair race. These people by and large really like to swim in the pool or stretch in the yoga studio. Individuals brought into the world under the indication of the fish frequently murmur softly while working out. The most effective method to seduce. Claim a game's injury and request that Pisces suggest a decent spa or masseurs. This sign will be glad to oblige and presumably test you for more data on your well-being as well. Fish are continually searching for somebody to protect, and that is regularly the initial move toward winning their heart. Boisterously announcing a contempt of activity will most likely win a thoughtful sum. You might be astounded to realize that a Pisces violated can be incredibly vindictive. While mainstream shrewdness says Pisces will go into an opening and hurt themselves, they are likewise known to be inactive, forceful and conceivably subtle. The catch is this is just when they're harmed. Along these lines, if a Pisces is getting progressively hard to manage, inquire as to whether you've planned something to hurt them. It very well may be the finish of the toxic substance. Trays. Sensitive. Passionate. Purchase tickets at a corner store close to a lake, stream, or seashore. Best games. Lotto. Little Lotto. Pick 3. Best moment games. Turquoise hued with word 9. Fishing or fantasy. Best methods. Play numbers in your fantasies. The paranormal. Wheeling. Pisces is connected to the resistant framework and to the feet. The issues most ordinarily connected with your sign are touchy feet, ingrowing toenails, bacterial or viral contaminations. How would you face up to ailment? Pisces is a twofold sign and you have somewhat of a double character. By and large you're altruistic, imaginative, acceptable at moving out of things or away from them, and continually looking for open spaces, somewhat otherworldly, even. Be that as it may, different attributes of Pisces are fulfillment with their environmental factors, remaining inside their usual range of familiarity, contingent upon others and their circumstances. You're not the best understanding on the planet, since you don't care for it when something's wrong. You additionally will in general release yourself a piece. It's consistently another person, the specialist, your companions or those near you, who need to take care of you. Sicknesses and diseases are frequently the declaration of your dread of confronting your everyday difficulties and restrictions. Your PCP should consider these shortcomings, hear you out, and offer you consoling guidance adjusted to your necessities, to help you stay solid. This will truly help your physical and passionate prosperity. Why not take up a game or an action like workmanship? This would help your prosperity as well. Try not to take a lot of medicine, except if it's endorsed by your PCP. You will in general depend on it excessively. What is destined to make you sick? You discover prohibition, dismissal and everyday limitations in life excruciating, and furthermore a separation, or leaving a task you love, could prompt sickness. To seduce a Pisces man. The sort of lady who draws in the removed Pisces man is sentimental and enthusiastic, touchy and uninvolved. Should she be charming, or secretive or ready to cause him to have a sense of safety, she could be the perfect one for him. Pisces men are attached to secret relationships, just as individuals who need assistance or passionate help. To seduce a Pisces woman. The Pisces lady is after a man who is sentimental, delicate and either an inventive visionary, or just lost and confounded. The possibility of a mysterious relationship can energize and tempt her, and secret interests her. Pisces. These ultra-sensitive people are managed by their fantasies and by Neptune, which controls the lymphatic framework and feet. They risk disillusionment, since they're so hopeful. In the event that mistake gets overpowering, it could mess foot up, corns, bunions, and so forth, and a debilitated resistant framework that leaves them defenseless against various infections. Your separation from the material world can frequently appear to be risky to other people, however your confidence that all that will consistently be okay for you is likely very much positioned. There is by all accounts some sort of fortunate star chasing after you, and as long as you don't permit your procuring spending balance get excessively far messed up, you typically get through. Individuals who will not have confidence in anything that can't be demonstrated through chilly, hard rationale can bother you, so you may think that it's hard to agree with a pragmatic kind like Capricorn. At the point when you're compelled to cooperate, you'll need to contend energetically to demonstrate your thoughts can deliver substantially more than a slippery pure fantasy.